愛のないセックスはただのプロレスだ。
Hey everyone, welcome to A Plus Wrestling here on this beautiful Monday morning. I am Boris. He is Hutch. Hutch, how's it going?
Man, I can't complain other than the fact that to satiate you, even though you didn't ask, but I'm such a good guy, such a good podcasting partner, that I watched NXT Halloween Havoc just for you, buddy. Just for you.
There
buddy.
you go.
Over here, just for you, buddy.
There you go. That's what he does for me. What a week it has been. You should see my notes. My notes are quite impressive this week. Even I'm impressed with my own notes this week.
Really? Would you like to know how many notes I have this week?
None?
Zero notes. I wrote nothing down during NXT because I was basically, this might sound kind of weird, but I was doing yoga at the beginning, and then I never wrote anything down for the entire time. And I did a lot of other things this weekend, and I just haven't written anything down about like the state of wrestling right now and Jey Uso versus Punk and all that stuff. But I'm sure, surprise, surprise, that if you mention something, I might have an opinion about it.
That's exactly it. That's the way that we riff and rap, go back and forth. Yeah, man, there's been a lot going on. And actually, before I even get to that, I want to ask you a quick question. Over Sunday and even into this morning being Monday morning, WWE has been releasing a lot of mystery videos of people walking. We're seeing a lot of shoes, a lot of stylish shoes.
All right, so like, you know, as a wrestling promoter, and one of the first things when I first got into wrestling, we're talking like 2009, helping run a show with a guy, and idea, and he's like, hey, spoon feed. It's like, don't be too complicated. I feel like WWE's like spoon feeding us like garbage, like we're fucking children. Sorry to swear. I got to not swear on the show. Boris, don't swear on the show, buddy.
It's a podcast. We're good. But go ahead. Keep going.
All right. So besides the like fake, ridiculous list of possible people who it's going to be, who is it, Boris? Come on, buddy. It's not a mystery in any fashion.
Well, the one this morning was Brock Lesnar. Clearly, this one this morning was Brock Lesnar. You saw the cowboy boots. You saw the jeans. We knew this.
Oh, I'm not talking about the new one. I'm talking. Okay. Yeah. So I think they've released 3 now.
4 now.
How many?
3 yesterday.
4.
1 this morning.
All right, so maybe I am being a little arrogant here. I
think you're being arrogant. I believe you, my friend, are being arrogant right now. So,
all right, I happen to have one of these weird like computer box things in front of me. So I'm going to check out all these videos because all I saw was the boots, which were Lesnar, which I assumed just Lesnar. I didn't even think twice about it. I'm like, there's Lesnar. And the black shoes. The black shoes were the ones that came out first. Am I correct?
Yeah.
The nice loafers.
The nice loafers.
The shiny loafers. Everybody likes a nice shiny loafer.
Right.
And they played that one the most. Like, that was like, whoa. And then now they've hit us with these other ones. Maybe I almost feel like it's the same thing. It's AI. It's market. They've got such a huge marketing group now that somebody was like, hey, the reaction to those freaking feet has been really great. And they're like, let's get some more feet out there, bitches. Brett Lesnar, get over here. I got a camera in your feet. Somebody tell Jericho to send us his feet. You know, it's like, but it's very obvious that the loafers are. Give me the Hulk Hogan. It's Gunther. Give me a break. Not only is it like, it's like literally a pair of shoes he owns. We're like, oh, there's Gunther's shoes. And look, there's Gunther walking like Gunther walks. It's like, was not a mystery. I was like, oh yeah, here's our Gunther clip. But now all these clips, you talk while I search.
No, but that's exactly it. That's exactly where I wanted to go with that. Because like, at first I'm like, oh, this is Gunther. This has to be Gunther. What is this going to be for? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But then.
What am I typing in? WWE walking clips?
Or you can just go to any of their social medias.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm on a social media platform currently. Let's go with the big dog WWE. WWE. Well, like now, okay, so now we're face recording. Now I guess we gotta start screen recording now too. Oh, it's almost like we're gonna be a professional, like soon we're gonna start going live. Oh my god. If we're gonna do this soon.
If we were actually using the software that I have, we could easily
okay. Just listen, the software we're using now happened because of like it wasn't working out at first. We were like, this worked, boom, and so we've stuck with it, right? But
absolutely.
All right, so what I got what I believe here. Let's hear. Boom. Okay, you know what? I'll have to edit this, dude. I'll put some of this shit on. It's 19 seconds. They can't. Right? They're not gonna copyright us. All right, so the black, what looked like the black cowboy boots and the jeans, I assumed was Lesnar.
Mhm.
We'll put down some of the fancy dancy lighting I got here so I can see it a little more clearly. But I don't. All right, so are these actually cowboy boots, or are they just like? Because they're like round toed. I guess they're black cowboy boots. All right, so could this be Lesnar? Is that what you're thinking? All
I
right,
think
fine.
it's Lesnar.
All right, well, see, if it's going to get to the point where they're just showing us the feet of everybody who's going to be in a main event, but I guess Lesnar has not been announced for Saturday Night's main event. That's what you're saying. Okay, so Lesnar would be a surprise if he showed up. Gunther would be a surprise if he showed up. All right, here's the next one. The next one for me is, oh, that one was really quick. And it was like just like black, like just shoes with like carpet around it. And it looks like the same carpet as
They've all been
the,
like 15 seconds.
yeah, but like, okay, so this second one looked like it was the same carpet as the cowboy boot one. Looks like it almost might be the same person. Is that person wearing jeans too? I guess I should have done more feet research, Boris. I didn't know this was going to be a topic today. I'm sorry. Like last night, like the girlfriend's like, so what do you, well, why did I find pop-ups for feet stuff, like porn and things on your computer? I'll be like, sorry, rabbit hole. She's like, so
Right?
just before I went to bed. All right, so what's this one? This one is like, oh, shoes with laces on it and what looks like jeans, but I can't tell the color because it's so WWE's decided to not only show you the shoes, they've decided to give you backlighting and obscure it as much as possible. So
Of course.
I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, I don't care who it is. Saturday's
Right.
not that far away. I got shit to do this
Who
week.
says
I'm
it's
not
for
gonna be
Saturday? Who says
preoccupied
it's
by
for
this.
Saturday? Could be for War Games. Could be for the next Saturday night's main event. We don't know. That's the beauty of marketing and advertisement.
Yeah, I wish I would, I'm gonna sit down with my partner. I'm gonna be like, you know what we've been missing all this time over at Demand Lucha? We do not have enough of these cool like feet shots. Just anything. How about somebody's ass? We'll show someone's ass walking into a building. We'll be like, who is this?
Right?
Um,
But yeah,
hey,
look,
I love
I've
how my
seen
mind
in this. So the whole point we're trying to get
hey,
to right
listen,
now
Boris,
is
if
we have
we do
seen
end up,
things. We have seen things from, people 100% sure and arrogant as you were, thinking it's Gunther. Then people
well,
are
that
saying
first one is
it's.
Gunther.
Then, I know. I'm just saying. Just fucking play along, damn it.
All
Then
right.
a lot of people are saying, it's the Vision, Braun Breaker, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, who effing knows? But it's getting views. It's getting people talking. Which nowadays for WWE, they might as well take it because as long as people talk about the product and something positive, that is a win in WWE land right now.
Yeah, we'll say, hey, I only found 3. Oh no, I guess because I didn't see the actual loafers here. So I guess there is 4. All right, it's interesting. Um, maybe I should be doing more. So there's the loafers, baby. That's definitely Gunther. Um, yeah, okay. I
Could
mean,
it
I
be
don't hate
War
it. I know I was
Games?
making fun of it and being arrogant. I didn't know this morning when I woke up there was 4 videos, but like I thought, okay, that got the Gunther video. I was surprised how many people were talking about the feet. I'm like, it's bloody Gunther, right? And I did see the second one this morning just before we got on, but I didn't know there was 4. But hey, okay. How long have we been talking about feet?
Exactly.
Awesome. There's some
There we
feet
go.
fits. I think it's Gunther and a few other dudes. I don't know who it
Yeah.
is. Like they're not going to show Jericho's feet. That's why he's freaking AWOL. That's what he does, right?
And
And
he's
I would
still under
assume he'll come back
contract,
at the
so
Rumble
that's not
because
even
there's been
a possibility yet.
no, because I think it's to the end of the year, right? But with the exception of his debut and talking to the Rock, they've all been Rumble appearances, right? All of his returns have been Rumble returns.
No. He's come back on a random episode of Raw.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
But his biggest returns have been like his debut and then his
Yeah.
2 Rumble returns, being the big
Yeah.
returns, right? The silent return when nobody knew what the hell was going on and he was just there suddenly. And then another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it when
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
see-
stuff because then I'm like,
you
okay,
see?
I'm not that bad. I'm not completely obsessed. But I was amazed at how many of these goddamn NXT names I actually knew. I was like, oh, fuck, I know more of these names than I should. I knew who Izzy Dane was. I'm like, Izzy Dane, Tatum Paxley. I was making fun of it last time. I'm like, these damn names are giving me an aneurysm. But I actually do. I know as a majority of them, unfortunately.
we go,
But the
there we
one
go.
NXT name I want to talk about is well, I want to talk about El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., which is, I've been a fan for a while, but still, is hearing it in WWE and not having them truncated in any fashion. You would think they'd be on that right away. They're like, okay, like Rey Mysterio Jr. became Rey Mysterio. They're like, we don't need that shit here.
But it's
they
funny
gave
that
him the
you
whole thing.
It's
But who I
funny
want
to
to talk
even
about is
say
Ethan
that
Page.
because people were already like truncating his name already. It's just like, let's see what happens. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. But there we go. All right, let's start with NXT. NXT happened this past weekend. Last time that we had an NXT PLE, you said, I will watch this. You watched it. What did you think overall?
It was very much an angel and a devil show for me. It certainly entertained me. I was watching throughout the majority of it, paying attention throughout the majority of it. I think they lost me a little bit on the two with the one of the women's matches. Like I kind of zoned in and out there a little bit. But Tatum Paxley got me by the end, Blake Monroe. But there was one match in there that I didn't really catch my attention. I guess that's why I can't remember what it is. So there you go, classic. But starting off this pay-per-view, what did you think of that the tag match there, bud?
I was torn with that one, to be 100% honest. Like, it's cool. It's look, at the end of the day, I love the nostalgia. I love that hit. But sometimes seeing the Hardys move, it is the hardest thing in my heart of hearts to watch them move.
Okay, so I said tag match. I meant opening tag match because we were talking about pay-per-view. But Hardy's, yeah, like even like 2 years ago or so, like just after pandemic, uh people were saying, oh, they look bad. I'm like, they don't look bad. Like Matt's always had the way he's a very unique way that he walks and moves. You know, you could do I could get down on the ground and get up from a lying down position and be like, who am I? And I can get up like how Matt Hardy gets up. Like he has in the video games. Like there was the Matt Hardy, there was like standard get in and out of the ring, standard get up, standard. Then there was like, Steve Austin where they bop a little bit as they got in the ring. You could select when you're creator wrestler. Yo, there was a Matt Hardy get in and out of the ring. There was a Matt Hardy getting up off the canvas because he was so unique in how he did things. So him moving in an interesting and odd way doesn't surprise me. Finally seeing Jeff like hobble a bit. And like I know he was hobbling before. Some people might be like, yo, bro, this guy's been broken for years. I don't know. It seemed like he handled it pretty well in a lot of ways. And now, yeah, they look a little broken down, but it's pro wrestling. Like I couldn't believe some of the spots he still did.
That ladder spot, I'm still shocked that he did that ladder spot. Like,
that's why they only get the title for a month because they can't. Exactly. They're like, we can't do this for 5 months. They're like, but we got one left in us. But I'm amazed. Yeah, like Hardy's. From people talking about how great they were to them being like, we're going to be the greatest tag team. I was never a huge Hardy fan. I'm not a teenage girl. I didn't care that much about Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. Like they were great. They did their matches. But I was way more into freaking, Dudley's and even Edge and Christian and just like in general, I liked wrestling. But the Hardys one where I was never a huge, massive Hardy fan. Even their imagery, like the purples and greens and like the Hardy logo that they had on their freaking chains, and they were like the kind of guys that might wear like metal puka shell style stuff. I was never that dude. So I was like, okay. I like them, but they're not my boys. But they may have transcended to the greatest tag team of all time, just on paper, even like not in the ring. I don't think they're the greatest workers of all time. They might be the greatest tag team.
But the work rate is a whole other thing when you talk about what makes a team legendary or whatever it is you want. That's a discussion for another day. But like I said on the post show weeks ago, like I knew the Hardys are going to win those NXT tag team titles at some point, as they're still holding the TNA titles. And like you said, 1 month run, all the nostalgia that we needed, and we are good to go. With that said,
they can pad their stats. They're pad the stats for which titles they've had, greatest tag team of all time. They got the pictures with the 2 titles, double champ. They got their run before WrestleMania 33 with like the TNA and the ROH, and then they're like, boom, they did that little squish like nobody's ever done. I actually got a video about that I have scripted here. I should maybe I'll use this segment to parlay into making that video. I'll be like, hey, we'll do it. But I don't mind seeing this match.
So we're talking about people in the twilight of their career. Let's talk about people at the beginning of their career. Javon Evans and Leon Slater, Miz versus Mr. Iguana and La Parca. This match, number one, just seeing La Parca in WWE, in WWE setting, in NXT, and of course it had to be Halloween Havoc. This was great. I really did love this. Mr. Iguana is so over. Like, I watched AAA for years. I've known of Mr. Iguana. I always tell people, just wait and watch. Just watch this. Trust me. You, Hutch, as someone who watches a lot of Lucha Libre, did you ever think that he'd be this over?
Like I can see how it's all happening, but no, I never gave thought. Like when I was watching, I used to love to watch me some like Nino Hamburguesa and
Yeah.
like Mr. Iguana and like these. I love that kind of stuff, especially since Triple A's sloppy. It's like bad lucha sometimes, bad
That's what I
stories,
always
bad.
say about it, though.
Oh, it's like
That's what I always
it's like
say.
the TNA of lucha. It's awful, but somehow it's like the most popular. It's weird. Everything in Mexico is weird. It's like Japan as well. Japan's weird. That's why I love this stuff. I really do. Um, but yeah, like as over this, see, I started off this whole thing talking about spoon feeding and treating people like children, and we went into the wrong tag match. I was trying to set us up for this. Um, original Laparca was great. Okay. And he is a hardcore, like, MFer in a lot of ways. And when it comes to the business side of lucha, like when it comes to the dark underbelly of lucha, the gangster style of lucha, the like, family oriented, push your way in, breaking guys' legs if you got it to get ahead. Like, uh, Laparca is like top of the heap here. Okay. This guy doesn't screw around. Um, the new Laparca, unfortunately passing away, and I enjoyed the LA Park and Laparca feud. This Laparca, Brazo de Oro Jr. I liked Brazo. He was a good wrestler. And I really liked the look of the new Laparca, the like Aztec stuff and the slight changes in the makeup. And he's really good at the little dance and the WWE version of the Michael Jackson song of the Thriller. It's actually really nice. I kind of like it better. His presentation is awesome. But as La Parka, I have not seen anything impressive yet. WWE, I've got to try and get my mind back to where I was when I was going to start the whole thing with this uh, spoon feeding people. This is not good.
It's fan
Okay, so
service, but it's fan service at the end of the day. Look, Mystery One and La Parka were used as fan service, and then you had Javon Evans and Leon Slater. It's kind of like, the pro wrestlers of this match.
yeah, I think we'll be seeing a tag team out of these guys in the future. But like Mr. Iguana, I'm glad that he's going to be making a lot of money. I'm glad that his gear, like it's the same outfit, but it's like new. He's buying new gear all the time and new stuff, right? He was wearing that tattered up shit for a long time down there. But this has never been a good character. He was by like some of the biggest and longest tenured names in Lucha have loathed this character for a long time. He is not a great Lucha. I don't know how he's even lasted as long as he is. But coming here and selling the Yeska dolls and all this stuff, but it all just seems so. Everything about this NXT product seems so polished and so put together that it's in some ways it's almost unwatchable. Like thank God for Ethan
Well,
Page and Wagner Jr. That almost seemed like a little loose. Like
hold on, hold on,
Laparca
hold on,
being
hold
like
on.
a top.
I gotta stop you right
Laparca
there.
being like a top star, even though Brazo's not, and going with like the opening act comedy guy to do these. I don't know. This is the devil part of me. Like I loved this show. This was a good show. I'm trying to be both. Like it looked really. I think they're making them look goofy. I don't know. I'll listen back and not like this. Tell me your opinion. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say I need to hear this further because, like you said, it's so polished, it's unwatchable. Like that's a very interesting statement to say.
Well, I started to think about backstage segments, and polish is the wrong word. It's so manufactured that it's
Yeah.
unwatchable. It's not really that polished. It's reduced and controlled so that there's so little mistakes that can be made, and then you notice mistakes right away. And I don't know. This NXT product is a very different beast in a lot of ways. I'm not sure if I really like it. It just seems.
Developmental.
It seems to be the antithesis of the modern wrestling product. AEW is very fly by the seat of their pants in a lot of ways. And this NXT product, and by extension Evolve, like there is nothing real here. Like even the most simple interactions are like scripted to the freaking breath. It's not good. It kind of makes me like cringe to watch it. There's wrestling where people always seem to walk in the room at the wrong time. And you're always like, this is not a representation of everything wrestling is, I swear. There's hardcore stuff and 90s stuff with like women in mud like matches. There is a lot of stuff in the past, I'm embarrassed of, that I would probably let somebody walk in on before a simple Tatum Paxley backstage segment. Like This stuff is awful, bro. But anyways, let's talk about the matches. Javon Evans and Leon Slater, I think, are going to be taking out Dark State. They're going to be the new tag champs. They're not putting singles titles on Evans. They got bigger fish to fry. Move forward. They couldn't find a spot for him. Slater, I think, is they like him. These kids look great together. I don't know what the obsession is with people wearing their title belts around their necks. You do not look cool. You are not cool. You look stupid. Okay, even if you want to clap back at me, yes, the concept of title belts is stupid. Wearing them, holding them, raising them, all of it. Don't put it around your damn neck. And if you are, don't make it like your thing. Like every time I see you with this belt that's around your neck, take the damn belt off your neck. Anyways, there's my old man screaming at clouds. Go, Boris.
There we go. No, I thought this match was fine. Look,
you like when I rant, I know.
No, this match was a great opener. This, and like I said, Javon Evans, Leon Slater, these guys. You know what? Here's my one thing about this, and I was actually thinking about this watching this match. Javon Evans, Leon Slater, early 20s, great looks, blah, 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 blah. Everyone calls him the future. Hutch, why can't they be the present?
Because they're not. They're not really ready in a lot of ways. How old are these kids?
Early 20s.
All right. We're not talking ability.
But they're not 16. They're not.
No, they're not 16.
They're not rookies per se.
All right. I'm a big fan of All Japan women from like the late 70s, early 80s. We're talking like 18-year-olds. You know, they had like the age cap, 26. You know, these were young kids doing huge angles, massive matches. So it's not like Evans and Slater can't go. It's not like they can't be that person. But I think the North American mindset, this is not a dojo system like it was then. It's a feeder system. It's very different. There's a lot of freedom. They have freedoms to make a lot of mistakes. I don't think pushing them to the top at this age when you have such a deep roster, like for me or some other company where you don't have a deep roster and you're like, I'm going to take the chance of putting the young kid on the top, and we'll see. We're going to have our putting the NWA title on AJ Styles moment here with Javon Evans. Let's go. But WWE has a massive roster, and Triple H is in charge now, right? This is the guy who still hasn't pulled the trigger on LA Knight. They take their time in a lot of ways. Sometimes, they flip titles and move people up to the roster, the main roster when they need to. Angelo Dawkins is what, like 15 years in? How long was he on NXT? They take their time with people sometimes. I don't think that they are the now. I mean, Slater's not even officially signed.
I was going to say, Slater's not even theirs.
Yeah. So, you're not talking about making them the now, and he's not even signed. But baby steps. He got the pin in this match. Hardy's be having a TNA title. That's still a WWE guy with a TNA title. JC Jane winning their belt. Everybody, TNA has not really gone over very much in this, other than to facilitate the main event of this match where Ricky Starks got pinned by Team TNA and they won in their little war game, whatever thing that was happening there. That match, the versus, the showdown, the invasion. I believe they lost, right? That's what happened. That was the whole thing at the end. That's why they're fighting now. So it was a means to an end. Baby steps. Leon Slater getting the pin in this match shows they have confidence in him, puts TNA over a little bit. This is WWE's way of giving back. Like, we'll let your guy get a pin. And he can even wear his belt around his damn neck. How about that?
All right. NXT North American Championship. Day of the Dead match.
I know you love to go on. I know you love to move on. But I shat on that match so much. I just want to let everybody know, dude, Javon Evans, dancing with La Parka, great stuff. Slater and Iguana had some great sequences. And even Iguana doing his thing and trying to, I love, they've got Yeska outside and he's jumping and they pretend to throw oh no, and he's trying to catch it in the middle of his dive. He missed it. But that stuff is great. I'm not shitting on it. I never got to talk about the Angel and Devil. The Angel loved this match. It was super fun, and that's what wrestling is about. But there are aspects of it that leave a bad taste in my mouth. North American title, Boris. Thank you. Go ahead.
I do understand that.
There were some great sequences. Okay, there were some great sequences. It was good.
NXT North American Championship Day of the Dead match. Ethan Paige versus El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Yeah, this match.
was match of the night for me.
Same. I love this match. I love this match. I love the look. They both work their ass off. This match just worked. They have great chemistry. Ethan Paige, I've been questioning this on this show, on other shows, anywhere I can question it. Why is Ethan Page still in NXT?
I think Ethan Page might have the good hand thing going on. Like Ethan Page can do anything. He could be a babyface, he could be a heel, he can talk, he can work. He's the man. He's a good-looking guy. He's obviously dedicated. He's dedicated himself to his family. He's dedicated himself to his body. He's dedicated himself to his career. He's mostly self-taught. He is the poster child for like bootstraps, having a pair, getting her done. I have a hell of a lot of respect for Julian, and I really hope he makes it. And he's the classic slow burn. Like one day, I think he could. Hopefully, he makes it. Hopefully, and I hope like me saying it doesn't ruin him. Sometimes I feel like I have power over the quantum universe. I say something I didn't mean to say it. I'm sorry, and shit happens. I hope he's main event of WrestleMania one day, or like right up there. He deserves it. He can do it. Isn't you know what? Not even that he deserves it. We all work really hard and sometimes get shit on. Ethan Page can hack it. He can do it. And this match was really impressive. Out of the Wagner boys, this is not my favorite of the two Wagner boys.
I know.
And man, was I ever into this match. What a great match. They do have good chemistry. And man, I love when a luchador who's got a full face mask can give you facials, like tearing the mask. He looks good. He's trimmed down a bit. That's one thing that this AAA partnership is going to do for these guys, and that always happens with WWE. Everybody's going to get in better shape, and their ring work is going to get tighter. That opening tag match was a bit subdued and by the books and manufactured, like I said, but it was better than some of the sloppy stuff you sometimes have seen from them in the past. And I think Wagner Jr. is only going to do better. Man, what a great match. Paige and him went hard on each other, and just every aspect of it was great. Like, I don't know what else to say. I guess I could get into the minutia of the match, but I've been waiting for this chance to talk to you just to be like, this was such a great match of the night. Then I was like, oh, now I realize I don't have anything else to say.
Sometimes less is more. And so that's that. We'll leave it at that. I do want to, because he took a lot of what I was going to say actually as well. But there was this one visual that I absolutely loved, and that's when Dr. Wagner was just like, half his mask is ripped off, and his eyes are just like lasering right into Ethan Page, like, you mofo. That's the facials I was talking about,
Yeah, and like the shaking and the slowly turning his eyes, like you've torn my family's mask, my mask, and things like that. Now in AAA in Mexico, this happens in matches all the time. It's almost par for the course for a match that gets heavy duty, gets blood. They tear each other's mask. You don't take the whole thing off, but you tear it, and then that mask gets sold online and give it to a fan or whatever. WWE, they're able to make a bigger deal out of it right now because it's not something we see all the time. And man, Ethan Page to be that guy. Like, I don't even care. Tear this guy's mask. It was great. It was good stuff. When he first came out, I was like, wow, he looks very much like Phantasma. But then they mentioned that he's doing the Phantom, the throwback to Rey Mysterio dressing as the Phantom at Halloween Havoc back in 1998. I was just like, my head spun around. I was like, okay, yeah, okay. So he's paying homage to Rey Mysterio, paying homage to something and they're also paying homage to the event itself. But fun stuff. One thing I was saying at the beginning, the full name, I've realized when he comes down to the ring, and Buddy can be like, hey, I'm from, Ticabacara, Mexico, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Like, it can sound good if you really want to get into it. Once people get used to hearing it too, they're like, they're going to get into it. But once they've said the full name, and once you put it on the screen, commentators can start calling him Wagner. You can literally just call him Wagner. You don't even have to say the whole thing, right? Dr. Wagner doing a great job. And his dad, your dad used to do this move. So Dr. Wagner Sr., they're going to start calling him that just as like the way they used to call Chavo, like Chavo Classic and Chavo Sr. Like, it'll slowly start happening. So I don't mind the full name, but man, trying to say a full name on commentary like that is not fun. So I'm glad that WWE's going straight to just like Wagner and things like that. If it was Vince, he would literally like have him just call him Wagner. Von Wagner, in fact.
No,
still got the t-shirts.
No, let's forget that one. Let's forget that one. And let us move on to the NXT Women's North American title match, which was a vacant title, one of the two vacant titles for the week. Zarya versus Blake Monroe.
So, like, WWE loves their minutia and details. Was this a vacated title, or was this
Technically,
in?
technically, technically, Sol Ruca had her champion. She picked someone to fight and
Yeah, I
defend her
guess so.
title
So,
for
like, when
her.
you look at the Wikipedia page, when you look at the stats, is it going to say Sol Ruca and like replaced by and defended in place of? And so, is it a continuous lineage or is it a vacation? Because nobody likes vacations unless it's like somewhere nice with your family. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you can avoid it in any fashion. Um, even her coming, weirdly, her standing there and raising the belt in the corner seemed weird to me. It would be okay for her to walk in, give it to the ref, and the ref can hold it while she does her pre-programmed WWE. This is how your entrance goes, girl. Um, but yeah, her holding up the title was weird for me. I don't know, small thing, but I think
But
what
that
happened
hold on.
should have
But
happened.
that detail could add to the feud down the road. Sol Ruca can say,
Yeah,
"Hey, bitch, you lost me my belt."
yeah. Well, okay, that's another. During this was another. That's why I'm kind of going like, more spoon feeding and treating us like children. More Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. Like, yo, bro, you put me out of the battle royal. What the hell? We're not professional wrestlers for a living that have known each other our whole life. Of course, you're gonna put me out of the damn battle royal if you get a chance. The damn battle royal. You'd have done it to me too. Come on. I know we're buddies, but we're gonna have a show. Like, I don't know. This whole like, I'm injured and I have to vacate my title, but I'll do it for you. Okay, I agree to that. We're friends. I'll watch you. Oh, I'm part of this ending scene. Like, there is no reason for Sol Ruca to like hit her with her crutch and be like, "You lost me my title." That in the world of pro wrestling, yes, that's one of the storylines where someone's like, "Well, this could happen," or AI is going to give you your thing, but it's stupid. That's not how life works. Sol Ruca knew exactly what she was getting into. There was no reason for her to be upset, and it's like they can use it in some fashion, sure. But the reality of the simple straight storyline of Sol Ruca turns heel, I don't like you, or something like that doesn't go with me. And Zarya being like, you put me in a bad position and embarrass me, and her turning heel, whatever they're gonna do, if it's overly simple like that, I'm not sure if I like it. What would be more fresh is pulling like an MJF Adam Cole thing, where like they're like, well, you lost my title for me. Well, I'm not the one who got injured, and then they're like, I love you anyway. Let's go kick some ass. And then they go kick ass. That would be a little more fresh, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
And they can
see
do it
that.
quick because it's a
Look,
speed championship. Oh my God, the speed championship. They have a men's speed championship title tournament happening in NXT. Bro, know when to drop something, WWE. Are you really making that much money off these Twitter matches? Bloody hell.
we don't know.
Sorry.
We don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know.
Drop it. No one gives a shit.
NXT Women's North American title match.
Hey, you want to get somebody else on the show? If you want, I can find you a guy that's going to talk to you about the matches if you want.
No.
If you want, hey, Sol Ruca against freaking Zarya, and they'll talk about the match. You say Sol Ruca versus Zarya to me, and within about 45 seconds, we're talking about pizza or something. Like that's who you got here, man. All right, let's do this. I saw Sol Ruca at a pizza once, and like that's it. That's where we're going. Okay.
Blake Monroe wins. She is your new champion. We'll see where they go with this. We'll see, honestly, and I'm talking specifically Blake Monroe as champion. We will see where she goes with this championship. And really,
Well,
let's see
while I
how
was
long-
scrolling looking for the feet earlier, I passed by a Blake Monroe thing, and they had a picture of her doing. She was the fastest from debut to championship for a woman in NXT, whereas I was thinking the whole time, like, what took so bloody long? Like, I kind of figured they were gonna put this girl over right away, kind of because you have to. Like, to look at her, she's very pretty, she's very Marilyn Monroe and all that stuff, but being pretty in NXT is like ding, ding, ding. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I thought they were gonna kind of have her be something right away. And North American Championship, while you've got Tatum Paxley and JC Jane fighting for the top prize, seems weird. This is the girl that should be at the top, right? But I don't know. Continue. It was a decent match. I don't know if it had me fully invested because I kind of feel unlike the Ethan Page match and the Wagner match, which they pulled the old Fletcher and Briscoe on me in this match. Like, I was like, all right, this is gonna be a great match. And Ethan Page's interview at the beginning was pretty good. He's such an he's a great arrogant prick. He's very much a wrestler. He delivers everything like a wrestler too. Like, he's a bad guy because he believes in himself. That's why I'm a bad. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, like they pulled me in, but it didn't happen the way it didn't happen like that. I wasn't like right to the end. Could Wagner win? Like I thought Wagner might win. There's a little bit of me that was like, yeah, it's good heat, right? For Ethan, like, hey, it was good fucking pop.
But that's what I always say. But that's what I
trying to
always
get his
say.
heat back.
That's what
But I
makes.
knew Monroe was gonna win this.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. But even if you're so sure on what the outcome is going to be, if they can even make you in the middle of the match think for one split second that it might go the other way, I think they've done their job.
All right, so imagine after the mask and after everything, imagine one false finish earlier. He had gotten the actual pin and North American and new NXT North American champion and Latin American champion Dr. Wagner Jr. People would go, oh, like it would have been a huge. And Ethan Page should be like covered in blood with his freaking Thunder Rosa makeup. A very Thunder. I was just like Thunder Rosa looking like, no, yeah, I know it's Canadian flags and stuff, but it really had that feel.
Exactly. All right.
But it's Day of the Dead, right? It was like a Canadian Day of the Dead thing, and she does Day of the Dead like so. He's not copying her.
That's exactly what it was.
Sorry, Julian, you're not copying Thunder Rosa.
NXT Women's Championship match. We already talked about this match a little bit. JC Jane versus Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley is your new women's champion. Interesting choice. I'm not sure. I like, look, the women's division is just insane in NXT, but right now, like I Lake Monroe, in my opinion, she's the main person.
Yeah, but I also felt like. It's weird. I'm a JC Jane fan, and I was very happy when she won the title. Now, granted, I'm a lapsed NXT fan. I've been watching a lot. The only thing that kept me in on this was the, Mandy Rose, and then like keeping a track of JC Jane. I'm a big nose guy, all right? When I was a kid, I like the Helen Hunts of the world. Like I like the girl. People are like, hey, she's ugly with her nose. I've always kind of liked big nose girls, like those kind. I don't mind it. So I kind of think she's hot. I actually think she's really hot shit, and I love that she gets the spotlight and can be all bitchy. I'm sure that she's far more real. Like everything backstage is so manufactured. I'm all like, listening to these girls talk to each other can sometimes like completely numb my brain. I know in real life she's a normal human being. But okay, what I was saying earlier that they spoon feed and they treat us like children. All right, here I'll lean into the camera the way I did with that because I kind of like the way it did before. If you didn't think the goth girl was going to win at the goth event, you are not bright. So that's pretty much what I was thinking there. Like she's like, look at this character, right? Pale, she's like the new Paige, pale skin, wacky, kind of half gothy, getting ready to get Izzy Dane's gonna hit her in the oh no, but no, okay, she's gonna turn big time face because the Cullings certainly aren't faces, right? But she's like the face one in there. She's like, hi guys, and they're like, yeah, she's gonna turn face. Big face, like she's already getting the pops and the support. All these little girls out there think Tatum Paxley is shit. Not only does she have a cool name like Tatum Paxley, but look at her. She looks different. She's not tanned, and she's got black hair. She looks different than everybody. Like Blake Monroe is the all the way Vince McMahon version, and Tatum Paxley is the all the way freaking like neckbeard IWC version. Like you know what I mean? Like that's the girl next door. Hey, that goth chick from up the street's really cool. Whereas they're intimidated by the Blake Monroes of the world, and as they should be. Sometimes these women can be battle axes. But yeah, Tatum Paxley, I was not surprised that she won. I mean, didn't she have like a big event last year at the Halloween Havoc thing, like a casket match or something? Was that 2 years ago? I don't know. But like WWE, they're a simple beast, right? Like sometimes I think I might be old. Man, Shawn Michaels is sitting up there with 10 years on me, completely bald with his fucking eyes sticking outside of it, being like, well, it's a Halloween event, me with the goth girl. These guys are not the overly cerebral. The entire booking committee, writing crew, whatever.
It doesn't need to be, though. It honestly doesn't need to be sometimes.
They probably wanted to put the belt on her 2 months ago, 3 months ago. They were like, we see the potential here. We see the pops. We see the social media numbers. We see people like her, Tisha, whatever's going on. Okay, let's do it at the Halloween Havoc event.
To be honest, just remember, this is also someone, Tatum Paxley is someone who both of her partners just a few months ago was released. So there's been a lot of attention on her, essentially, since the releases back in early May. So this works.
Is this how so like I said, I haven't really been watching. Is this why she's in the culling? Like her people left and they were like, we will take care of you. And she's like, okay. And she's smaller than all of them. So it's almost like, Izzy Dane's a big gal. So it's like, we'll take care of you. And wearing all their white and all, I mean, I guess they usually wear black, but they're like The Righteous. I love The Righteous, man. Like, I love me some Dutch and Vincent. These guys are awesome. So I feel like the culling is like a weird WWE light version of it in some fashion. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, so they're bringing her into their cult, and now she's going to break free as the new champ. And of course, there's also the Lyra thing. So did both of her partners get released, or one of them moved up and the other one got released?
No, they all got released. Gigi
Okay,
Dolan
but wasn't she good friends with Lyra? That was all the promos.
That's a whole side thing. That was right before Lyra got called up. That was before.
Yeah, sorry. Like the last year of NXT has not been like ritual watching for me, but I've been catching a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, great stuff. She's cute. Got her like manic eyes. You know, if they don't burn her out or something doesn't happen, like there's the potential there for her to be like throw 10 years on her and she's still Tatum Paxley, only she's not immature. She's grown. She's like a little classier, a little taller. She's got a little more Stephanie Vacour to her, a little more like Paige if she wasn't so seemed so drunk all the time or something. I don't know. Like give her a little class, a little maturity coming out. Like imagine the Tatum Paxley version of the Halloween show 10 years from now, where instead of wearing like tatters and mummy stuff and makeup, she's wearing like Elvira shit and like the red streak in her hair or something. Like she has the possibility to be a big star and be a classic gal one day and have it be the journey of Tatum Paxley. All because of the cool name, bro.
There we go. All right, we had already talked about the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Dark State are your new NXT Tag Team Champs, and this leads us into the main event of the night, NXT World Championship match. Ricky Saints versus Trick Williams. Ricky Saints is still your champion for HUTCH. What you think overall of the presentation, the match, and what now?
You're slick. I like how you went right over the tag title match. You're like, we already talked about it. You're gonna talk for half an hour. Dude, I kind of dug it. I think it was pretty obvious that Trick was gonna lose because they didn't want to have Ricky lose on his first match, especially after losing technically his first match being like the last one.
Exactly.
Right? Trick's one of his promos, like I'm bigger than you. He was bigger than him. Makes me think like, size really is a thing. Ricky Starks is not a small. I mean, we were talking earlier, all wrestlers are smaller now. And like, I don't know if it was you or maybe I was talking with Ronnie, but like Sheamus looked massive in that battle royal compared to so many small people. AJ's as big as Rusev. AJ's like a big guy in there. And he used to be like, rejected because he was so small. So, as a promoter, we hire a guy and he shows up and I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And I'm surprised. I'm like, I had no idea this guy was so short. It seems so big on TV. Like is weird. Like, even though I grew up kind of around him because he trained in the area here, Elgin, where like I hadn't seen him personally face to face in like 10 years. And I forgot how small he was because I suddenly became a bigger fan of him on TV, even though he'd worked locally for a while. I actually have some, like, too bad he's so persona non grata. I have Elgin matches from his like first 2 years. And he like, it's weird. He like looks like Elgin. But it's like a different person, but it's totally him. And it's like in a way that's different than when you see young guys that are skinny, because he's still stocky and young. He's just like, and you can tell he's like a prick. It's weird. And like, anyways, I got really into him on TV, and then he shows up at a show. I hadn't booked him in ages. And I was like, oh, you're so small, So Ricky Starks being smaller than Trick Williams. Trick being arrogant and Booker T being so into his boys, Javon Evans and Slater and Trick, and like I think it's great. It's the way he like treats. Could they be laying the seeds for something with Booker T here? Like he pushes his boys so hard.
Not at all. I don't think so.
But then the way he treats his commentator partner, like talking over all the time. Like granted, it's fun, and I try to think to myself, like if I'm commentating with Chris, like I might be like, what do you think, Chris? And as he starts to like answer, I'd be like, and I like come cutting him off on purpose to be like kind of fun. And then I can see like, but I don't know. Booker T was doing it a lot. I made a joke 2 weeks ago.
Hold on. That's how Booker T commentates. Like that's just him. That's why I personally don't like him too much as a long-term commentator, just because it's just too much. It's just too much sometimes, right?
It gets too comfortable.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the word I was looking for.
Hey, Booker T, we love how relaxed you are. We love all the crazy things you say. I just want to let you know, between you and me, the 6th time you say ring-a-ding-ding, you're gone. Okay, we got a list here. You can't just be ring-a-ding-ding every show. Oh, here we go, ring-a-ding-ding-dong. It's like, okay, chill a little bit. Okay, we thought it was funny. We smiled. We were like, that was fun. And then it's like a cat that you feed, and it comes back every freaking day now. He's like, oh, you like the ring a ding, eh? I can do it again. Ring a ding ding dong. Yeah, okay. I didn't mean we loved it, loved it. We liked it. It was fun. Chill. This isn't your new gimmick. But I think it is his new gimmick. I said a couple weeks ago, I made a joke that I was like, I am the Booker T of Canadian independent wrestling commentary. Now, after this show, I'm embarrassed to say that. I'm like, yo, Booker, chill, dude. If I am telling you to chill out, you know you might have a problem. But yeah, he's a character. It was a good match. I feel like he helps make you want to dislike Trick Williams because you want to like him in some ways. Like he's being an arrogant heel, but he seems like a likable guy and a guy you know could be at the top of the card. I was really glad to see that Ricky Starks was not wearing a chain around his neck. It's weird that when I saw this as a main event, I was like, okay, NXT main event, two guys wearing gold chains and earrings going toe to toe, and like Trick Williams has like 4 chains on. It's like, I don't know why this is a thing for me, but I wish there was more open-handed slaps, and I wish guys didn't wear jewelry in the ring. This is still a combat sport. Like, I know it's TV, I know it's fake, I know it's story, I know we're all characters and superheroes and blah, 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 blah. Take off your bloody earrings, okay? Unless if somebody in the next like 18 months doesn't grab a guy's earring and tear it out and be like, lick the blood off it into the camera or something, oh, what the hell? Like, that I would be doing that every time. I'd be like, listen, I want you guys to know. It'd be part of my promo. Like, I'm going to tear your earring out tomorrow, just so you know. And guys would be like, you could see like Javon Evans being like, yo, what day? I'm going to get you on Sunday. You know, like maybe take his earring out because he knows it's going to get like, torn out. Take out your nose ring before the match, right? Like in camera. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, dude's going to tear my nose ring out. They say like, I don't know. For me, that's a thing. Is anybody still watching? Sorry, guys. Am I wrong? Am I wrong here?
No. Yeah, so I was reading something. That's why I was completely distracted for
Yeah,
a
I
couple
could tell
seconds.
you're like sometimes I
Now,
shouldn't rant so much. You really zone out. You're not paying any attention to me.
I am paying attention. So I agree with you because there is that level of realism. So it's for me, wrestling, pro wrestling, like I said, it's a derivative of combat sports. Yes, we know it's fake. Yes, we know it's not. Yes, we know it's predetermined. Yes, we know this. Yes, we know that. Blah 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 blah. But there's still that level of realism that you want to it. There's still that level of you want it to feel like a real combat sport, and sometimes those minor details can really get you away from that imagery, from that grandeur, from just enjoying what's going on.
And there's some smartass out there who's being like, bro, dude wrestled the opening match with an iguana and guys were like scared of it when they got through. Okay, I get it. All right. But
There's
like,
I know.
Lucha Libre, the masks is a tradition, and the hiding is like a very Spider-Man kind of thing, like hiding myself so that my family doesn't know who I am, or so that my opponent who I embarrass doesn't go after my family, like I'm the mystery, and like I still work my day job at the factory, and like there's all this like history and stuff behind it, and it's kind of funny, like they didn't actually start really with masks. Mexican mask history is actually pretty interesting in some ways. But that's kind of how I feel like it is. Like some smark out there is going to be like, yo, what do you care about the chain? You got guys wearing belt buckles on some of their stuff. I wasn't into that at first too. I used to be the guy who would be like, Demolition shouldn't be wearing their stuff, but they look cool. But I would get upset when guys had tights that had like a belt buckle on it or like a metal thing on the side. But I got used to that over time. That's the kind of thing where casually Gorilla Monsoon might say in the middle of a wrestling challenge, he'd be like, oh, that ring on the side of his tights is probably illegal, Brain. And he'd be like, oh, whatever. They'd have like a little back and forth. That'll bust you open and hit you the wrong way. But this is the kind of stuff where you grab a guy's chain, you pull it off, like cuts his neck a bit, and you throw the chain that his mom gave him in the audience. And Ahmed Johnson had his big, huge, like hanging earrings. They were like ridiculous, huge hanging earrings. I used to always think like, psh, I've always thought this. I'm trying to remember one time I was listening to early podcast stuff. So we're talking like 2015, 2016, when independent wrestling podcasts got big, not in the last 18 months where WWE podcasts are big. So when we all started. And some guy just randomly said, it was somebody that it was either Pritchard or Cornette or somebody on one of the bigger podcasts that started. And they mentioned, just grab his earring and pull it out. I remember being like, hey, finally somebody said it. I remember thinking that, right?
Exactly.
So 'cause my uncle used to box, and one of the first things he ever said to me when I was a kid, because I used to tape this stuff on Betamax and VHS when I was a kid, Saturday Night Main Event and things like this. Um, um, he would always be like, he would say how he hated that they were. He'd be like, that wrestler's got earrings in. He's like, that's ridiculous. And he would be like, that would cauliflower ear. That's gonna get you're gonna get a skin flap over. It's gonna grow into your ear. You're not gonna be able. He would just go on and on about it. I'm like, and as I grew older, I started to notice that all the time, and it bothers me. So yeah, main event, fuck jewelry. There you go. See what I was saying? You can get a guy that'll talk to you about the matches if you want. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
that's fine.
They're out there.
That's fine. Did you enjoy the match?
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. Not as much as some of the other matches. Sorry, folks. I think Ethan Page, like, much better match. Opening match, entertaining. Hardy's match, nostalgia, entertaining. I know, but that's often can be the case with a lot of main event matches. Main event matches is your two like cookie cutter main like top wrestler dudes in their wrestler program, and you got a great entertaining show that leads to this main event. And they really got to put in the effort to capture the fans because what you're getting is just pure wrestling and pure main event story, which isn't always on undercard stuff can have I'm fighting you now because of reasons, because of girlfriend, because of issue, because you stole my jacket, Brett, or you stole Brett's jacket, or whatever, or you stole my bracelet, Drew. But when you're a world champion, your opponent is fighting you because you're the world champion. So sometimes that it's not I hate you because of what you said or what you did. It's you're next and I'm the man and come get some. And I feel like this was a bit of that mixed in with last month's you abandon us kind of shit. So yeah, they really had to put in the effort. I don't think it was the best match on the show. I don't think it's the best match of the month, but Ricky Starks, man, doing his thing.
And
No,
Ethan
sorry,
Page, man.
Ricky Saints.
And Ethan Page. And Ethan Page doing great.
Yeah, I think Paige is the star here right now. But you go back 2-3 years ago, you look on Cody Rhodes' Instagram, you got Ethan Page and Ricky Starks sitting at his house eating steaks with him. So like this is all that inner circle kind of thing.
course.
I'm trying to remember that. I was watching, was it the Kevin Owens interview with Cody Rhodes, where he was talking about friends in the industry and it's so different than it used to be. And they made a quick joke about Ethan Page and they mentioned Ricky, and then they were like, okay, there's tears. Then he was like, "You're up here, Kevin." And he's like, "I love me some Ethan." He's like here, right? And they made like a joke. They were like, "Yeah." But I happen to know they're very good friends. I mean, they held Ethan's tag team titles together at A1 before Ethan got his AEW thing and went down there. Like these guys all do adore each other, and Ricky's in the inner circle, so I'm sure they're both very happy for each other. They're both the two top male champions on the brand. I think you're gonna be seeing a lot from these guys. If you put a gun to my head, said who's going to last? Who's going to be the man out of the two? I think it might be Ethan.
I think it's Ethan.
I think, yeah, and it's like weird to say this in a small way. The way the world is changing politically, we have the very open-minded left-wing view of the world, which is the breath of fresh air of a lot of mindsets that a lot of us should have. It became the corporate thing to be that way. They were like, they saw the money in it, changing all the profile pictures to the black square or to the rainbow flag or all that stuff. So it's become mainstream to be open-minded and to be like flashy and to be a little more in touch with your sexuality and all that stuff. Ricky Starks is flashy, sassy. What's the word I'm looking for? What do they used to call gorgeous? It's like a great word for flamboyant. There we go. We use flamboyant, even though I'm not sure if that's quite correct. Ethan Page is a little more cut and dry. What I noticed with kids that I talk to that are 12 and 13 and young 18-year-olds is that they're having a bit more of a conservative mindset in a small way. Not a racist mindset or anything like that. We're talking about business-wise, money-wise, the way the world works wise. Everybody, if you're a YouTube guy or you're a Twitch streamer or you're doing anything, you're an independent businessman, really, in some ways, right? You've got to do your own taxes and all these things. So, I think that in the future, you might see the Ethan Page be the guy that's just out of the two of them out there. I don't know why. I mean, if you really want to unpack it,
Gut feeling. At the end of the day, it is a
cut
gut
and dry
feeling.
mentality might translate better across the board in the future. A corporate guy, board meeting guys might be like, he's our guy.
NXT Halloween Havoc, thumbs up or thumbs down?
For the whole show? I'm going to say, I don't know. I guess it has to be thumbs up. I almost want to say thumbs in the middle. because I wasn't super impressed, except this is a product I wasn't watching and it made me watch it. And I would say that I paid attention.
And
Sometimes I find
did
I'm
it
like, oh, I'm
make
supposed to stop
you?
watching that
Will you
show.
be watching it again? Like that's the big question.
What was the match they were teasing for Tuesday? They're like, I'll see you Tuesday. Uh oh, the Evolve match. No, I don't think I'm gonna be choosing in on Tuesday, bud. I don't think I'm gonna be tuning in
I
on
meant the
Tuesday.
next PLE, man.
Oh, the next NXT PLE? Sure. Yeah.
That,
Mostly
then,
so we can talk about it.
then that's all. Then that's all they wanted from it. There you go.
Hey, oh, that
NXT.
that Evolve champ girl, she's really good. I've seen some of her matches, and she's super cute, man. She's got like scrappy like Ellen Page before she turned kind of thing. That scrappy little girl thing that just, you kind of like. You're like, ooh, I like her. I want to see her fight, and like I want her to be my best friend, but I also kind of want to see her naked. Like, oh, she's cool. I like her. Yeah, let's do this.
There we go. NXT Halloween Havoc. This week we have tons of shows happening. We're going to be previewing some shows and at the same time talking about what is going on there. So this week they have a Fright Night Dynamite on the 29th of October. So far we have 3 matches announced. 2 four-way matches that are going to determine number 1 contenders for Full Gear. And we have the first match of the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament, where we will see Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter versus the Sisters of Sin. Any thoughts on
You want
that?
to ask my opinion? All right. I forgot we had more to talk about, right? We got to talk about Saturday's main event. We got to talk about Fright Night. So, Boris, give me a rundown of all of the announced matches for Wednesday's Fright Night. Like the actual matches. You just told me what types of matches they were. Tell me the participants. Not the women's tag, the rest of them.
We have AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament quarterfinals, Queen Aminata and Jamie Hayter versus Sisters Sin. Then the first of the 4-way fights is going to face Brodito at Full Gear, FTR versus the Young Bucks versus Jet Speed versus Jurassic Express. And then for the World Heavyweight Championship, we have a 4-way where the winner faces Hangman Adam Page at Full Gear, where it's Bobby Lashley versus Ricochet versus Samoa Joe versus Hook.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, so I will be tuning in. This is all very interesting stuff. I think you might be seeing Lashley go forward because I don't think he has much more to do with Ricochet. I think you're going to see Hook and Samoa Joe maybe starting something up there. Might be nice. I think Samoa Joe, I don't know. Actually, I don't really think this, but I can see the connection between Samoa Joe and the Beatdown Clan thing from the past. So the Hurt Syndicate connection there. Gee, who knows what's going to happen there? I guess Bobby Lashley moving up. But I would hate to see Hangman beat Bobby Lashley. I think Lashley needs something, but I don't know if I want to see Hangman lose. But here, I won't harp on it. I won't be like how I usually am. I'm looking forward to this. We'll talk about it after the fact. The tag team match. Now, is this actually 4 teams against each other? I was under the impression it was like FTR teaming with the Young Bucks against the other 2 guys.
FTR versus the Young Bucks
versus
Jet Speed versus Jurassic Express.
Didn't they have a promo where like Tony walked out? It was like blah 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 blah, and then he's like, "You'll be with these guys." I thought they were teaming with them against the other 2 teams, but this is interesting. FTR and them, Jet Speed. What was the 4th team?
FTR, Young Bucks, Jet Speed,
Speed,
Jurassic Express.
Oh, Jurassic Express. I think they're going to go with the Express because they're hot right now. They're going to want to try and push that forward. Who's the tag champs? Let me tell you. Oh, Brodito. So they're going to want a heel team. I don't know. Another reason to tune in. It's what I've talked about before, where AEW is a little more of a cowboy organization. You never know what they're going to do. This could be interesting. They could try and, Jet Speed against Brodito, face against face. I can see that happening. Jurassic Express against Brodito, face against face. I can't see that happening because both teams are super hot and they're trying to build them, and it would really only ruin one of the 2 other teams. Jet Speed can go in there and lose and still be over, and Jet Speed can go in there and win and be surprised, and everybody can shake each other's hands and maybe go for I can see that kind of happening. I think that scenario with Jurassic Express in there really only damages what they're trying to do with both teams. And I'm not sure if the Express is ready to just be handed back the tag team titles just because they're both together again. Plus, I don't know personally if Judas Craven, if Luchasaurus, I would assume he's cleared. AEW always clears people before shows. There's a lot of medical stuff there. But he was not in a good way. His lung stuff, it was really bad. So
It
I
was really
wouldn't
bad.
want to put him on. I don't know if I want to put a strap on the guy quite yet. Let him have like, a good couple dozen matches before you strap him up and make him a part of the face of your company. Bucks, FTR, man. I think they might go with Jeff Speed. Although nobody really wants to see more Bucks FTR feud action, and the Bucks have their thing going on. It's okay. You know what? Maybe Bucks. Maybe Bucks win the match, win some money, go for the title, try and get the titles. Now they're getting paid because they're the champs. Get the big, the pay window, right? I'm gonna go with the pay window. So maybe Bucks, but I don't know. I'm
There we go.
interested. I'll watch that match.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a good Wednesday. I think interesting to have like these four-way matches. At first, I was like, that's kind of weird, but there's just so much happening among all these wrestlers within both of these four ways that it kind of just works, which is
All right, so
fun.
you got four-way women's tag. What else?
That's it. That's all that's been announced
That's all that's been announced. 3 matches.
for now.
All right. Before we talk about Saturday night's main event, I will try and very quickly Angel and Devil this for you, buddy. Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. I think what they I gotta stop with the uhs. What they're doing here is great. I think in the end run, we're gonna be seeing, Monet and Athena against probably Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. But part of me wants the devil is like the very much the JD from NY kind of thing, like where I could hear JD's voice in my head. He's like, hey, like, why did you make these titles? Why do they exist? Boris, why do these titles exist? What is the purpose of these titles?
They have
Is it
enough
to
wrestlers.
showcase new women in
They
your
have enough
division
wrestlers.
of their
That's literally all it was. They had enough. Let's put them out there.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you want to showcase women, right?
Yep.
You want to show that you have the best women. You want to give them ring time. You want to put titles on them. You want to have the best women out there doing their job. Do you want to showcase these same women that you have showcased for the last 2 years with your tag team titles and your tag team title tournament? Is that the purpose of these titles? Because if it
This
is,
is
then great
exactly
job.
what I was thinking. This is the issue that I have with it. And actually, this is going to be the next point of content. Well, that we were going to talk about was it's a little weird when you look at the brackets because at the end of the day, yeah, you have some new faces. Yeah, you have some people who might deserve them, but you have Mercedes Moné, you have Tony Storm, you have Jamie Hayter. It's a lot of, like you said, the same faces that have been around. So,
Hey, man, you want to put the titles on Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata? I'm all for it. You want to have Alex Windsor come in there and like throw some forearms around and like fucking smash people with their knees and stuff? I'm all for it. You want to put another title on Monet? I mean, I'm not exactly a hater of this. I'm very Angel and Devil with the Monet thing as well. I know the good points and the bad, but the fact that they're like, it starts next week, and Athena's there, and she's like, you know what? Maybe you're like cleaning like cake off her face or whatever. Maybe I do need another title. I was like, well, what is that? Was that the point of this? Because a part of you would be like, no, 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 and then you realize like Tony Khan is like, he's a weird cat, man. Like they like he's like, oh, we got a lot of ladies and we need a ladies tag title and man, put it on Monet or put it on Tony Storm just to put a title. I don't know. It would be great if those two teams didn't win, but at the same time, those are the two teams that are gonna make
they're going to make
people
money.
want
They're going to
to
draw.
watch the final match, right? I don't know. So I'm not sure. It's just with AEW so much. Like after watching at the NXT pay-per-view, now you're pitching me like a women's tag team turn. I like women's wrestling, don't get me wrong, but yo, man, enough's enough. But
Yeah.
I'll be watching. But I really hope. I don't know. I was gonna say I really hope they don't put it on Monet and Athena, but really like, I mean, Tony Storm's a great character, but who's the baddest ass and mother effers in those brackets? Like probably Monet and Athena should be
And
kicking
Athena.
everybody's ass, really, right?
should be.
Yeah, Athena. Anybody and Athena should be winning the title. So yeah. Anyways, it'll be fun. You want to go on to Saturday's main event before I start talking about like sausages or something weird out of the
Oh,
blue?
you know I am. I'm cutting
Right.
you off regardless. So this
Yeah.
Saturday isn't just nostalgia. It could reset WWE's entire hierarchy. We have 4 matches, 4 title matches, 1 vacate title. Let us run through the card real quick. For the U.S. title, we have Ilya Dragunov versus Damian Priest.
Wow, they're really giving Dragunov some good matches here, eh? So
Right?
this is not an open challenge, obviously, because it's been announced. Uh See, classic. You're like, so Dragunov against Damian Priest. What do you think? And I'm like, I think they jobbed out freaking the Aleister Black. That's what I think. Like, I want to go straight to that. How can they give him the new entrance with Selena Vega and, the Angel and Devil? Devil's saying, like, hey, they just copied Karrion Kross. And the Angel's like, he's been doing this before Karrion Kross. Like, they're the conversations to be had. But the new entrance, the girl, the wife's with him. It's Aleister Black. He's a heel now. He's defiant. And he's going to freaking lose. Like, it just seems weird to me. And now Damian Priest is
Having
probably going to lose.
He did lose because of Damian Priest. So now I'm feeling.
Was it an interference thing?
Yeah, exactly. Damian Priest came back. Damian Priest came back. That's what gave Ilya Dragunov the win. I have a feeling that at this match, we're going to get the return favor and we're going to get a triple threat eventually.
Okay, cool. I just feel like, I don't know, man. There's something about Aleister Black now where I'm like, what they're doing right now is too late. Like he's been shat on a little bit, I think. But maybe I'm being a little too emotional. Maybe I'm being too emotional.
I think you're being emotional. I think he's done just fine.
So I guess the scenario would have to be that in some fashion Ilya Dragunov wins, but Damian Priest would have won. Maybe Black interference, Black distraction, something like that. Because Priest he's too old to be having him go down the pecking order. You got to use him now while you can. We're talking he's like Leviathan to Batista period in his life. Like he's got to be. It's now or never for him. Former world champ shouldn't be losing to Ilya Dragunov unless it's Dragunov. The fact that Dragunov is so good, goddamn good, and he's the kind of guy you give him an opening, he's going to use it. That kind of thing. So, next match.
Yep. All right. For the next match, we have for the Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus a newly healed Jade Cargill.
They're going to put Cargill over. They need this whole division needs a new slap, a new paint. I don't see it. Unless of course it's a run-in, unless it's interference, unless Nia Jax, unless Bianca Belair comes back and because that would be good. She's about to win, she's about to heel out really bad on her and then win the title, or she's lost because of disqualification or a roll, and now she's gonna smash her with like a concrete brick or like something like that, and the music hits and it's Bianca Belair. But I was really waiting for the whole Street Profits heel turn and Bianca Belair. That could have been, the Hurt Syndicate, the new Hurt Syndicate, right? They could have been badass. But who knows what's going to happen here? I guess if I had to roll the dice, winner or loser, I might say it's going to be a schmoz of some fashion. I don't know who's going to win or lose, but I don't think it's going to be straightforward in any fashion. They're going to try and do something here.
This thing, like you said, I think Tiffany Stratton will leave the night as champion, but I think that something's going to happen to kind of redefine that SmackDown Women's division. Something needs to happen. I don't know what that is, but we'll see where they go from here. Having said that, they just turned Jade Cargill heel. Do you give her an L? Like they're not going to give her an L right away.
Yeah, I think she might come out with the title as well, like I was saying. But I think turning her heel and smashing her over isn't just the way to go. Like, exactly. I'm still not a huge fan of Jade Cargill, and I got to admit, I am surprised that she is getting better.
I hear you.
I think she's a long-term project. She's an Angelo Dawkins type. She'd have been in NXT for a long time, and it really AEW exposing her for so long. We had no choice but to put her into the spotlight at WWE, and she's such a physical specimen. It's like, my God, this is like the She-Hulk of pro wrestling. So I can understand, but she's not that great. I'm hoping that like my girl is Lash Legend. She was the best part of that shitty backstage promo where I was like, what is going on with these manufactured responses? Like Lash Legend came in, was like a foot and a half taller than everybody. It was like seemed almost authentic, like coming for ya. So I'm a much bigger Lash Legend fan, but she sure as hell looks good. I like the darker motif. And I think she's going to come out with the title.
Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
Well, I mean, I had this whole script storyline thing for the redemption of Drew McIntyre, which insisted him losing, going away, coming back in some ways. But I think they might put him over here.
Yeah, right. Like we said this, I forget when they faced each other last. It was very recently. Was it Crown Jewel? It was very recent. I don't remember. No, it wasn't Crown Jewel. It was right before Crown Jewel. Anyways, I really do feel like Drew McIntyre needs to win. I want him to win, and I think it's just that surprise that we need in the entire company at this point. Drew McIntyre all the way. That's what I'm thinking. There you
Yeah, like
go.
they were gonna put it on him at that last event, but they were like, you know what? Cody versus Seth is the better crown jewel match, right? We got the
Yeah.
history, we got Seth going over, we got all this stuff, right? They didn't expect me to get
Oh,
injured,
then here
obviously.
we are. Here we are with that scenario because Seth Rollins isn't even around. He had to vacate the title. CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's been a very interesting week, especially if you look or care about social media numbers or the internet wrestling community. Because is Jey Uso the most hated person right now? It sure seems like it.
You know, I got to admit, I don't spend a lot of time. I watch a lot of wrestling. I try and make a lot of wrestling content. I don't give a lot of thought to what WWE is going to do. I sometimes give thought to what I would do. Um, yeah, like I haven't thought about this like, ever since Jay won. I guess he is the most hated because ever since he won, I've been like, nah, I've stopped thinking about this match or this event in general. So maybe you're right. I'm apathetic, where some people might their apathy might come out as hate or like online complaining or kvetching, as they would say, kvetching. Um, who do you think's gonna go over?
I think at this point, do we give it back to CM Punk or give it to Jey Uso? You know, I can see better matches coming from Jey Uso.
Yeah, I
Like
think
just
Jey Uso's
not better matches, more interesting match ups.
um, I'm just trying to think like CM Punk beating Jey Uso and just being like, I'm the
That's it,
champion. It just seems weird. It just seems
right?
bland. It
Unless
seems like
unless this this is the trigger for Jey Uso to go full heel.
maybe, yeah, like he needs that thing. Like what who was it going to be originally? It was going to be Seth. So who would have gone over Seth and
It would have
Punk?
been,
Right?
I would
Probably would have been Seth.
assume, Seth.
Yeah, they probably would have screwed him somehow. They probably would have. So I just don't feel like Punk was going to like come out with the win there, especially since he won against Seth on the first Raw. So now this is the
Yeah,
first Saturday's Night event on ESPN, and he beat Seth on the first Raw on Netflix, and I was saying I'm going to beat him again. I think Jey Uso is going to come out with the win here. I think it's going to be great for Rikishi and the boys. They're going to, hey, two-time champ, and hey, that's what it's all about. You know, when you complain about your guys losing the title, wrestling, everything changes so fast. That's why I had a buddy who has a lapsed fan who's been watching Demand Lucha, and he's like, oh, he loves the product, but he's like, I have some suggestions. Why didn't you this? Why didn't you that? And I'm like, it's not because we didn't think the way you think. Like, he's like, you should have done this. And I'm like, no shit, we should have. Well, why didn't you? You'd be surprised as to why. Wrestling is a complicated beast. So nobody expected this to happen. And I think Jay's going to get his second title, and all the complaining of taking the title off my boy too early and blah, blah, blah. He's going to have another run here. He's going to be a Mick Foley. You can say, in total, I only had the title for 150 days over my 5 reigns or whatever. But yeah, I think it could be a catalyst for him and Jay and bad news, and who knows. They're probably coming up with the same way you and I are sitting here being like, oh, they could this, they could that. They're doing that right now because they didn't expect this to happen. And they're probably unhappy with the backlash. They're still getting there. The crowd is still yeeting. The t-shirts are still selling. He's going to John Cena territory where everybody who's 12 and under loves Jey Uso, and everybody who's 14 and over is being like, oh, starting to get annoyed by this guy. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think Uso over, though.
there we go. There we go. That is Saturday night's main event. Like we said at the top of the show, so much happening in the world of pro wrestling. We're going to be back next week to chat everything that happened and everything that we think will happen. A+Productions.com is where you want to go for all of your information. Just remember that go to your favorite podcasting app, hit subscribe after you search for A+ Wrestling or A+ Productions. Hutch, you got some stuff happening this week.
Oh, yeah, big. We got some Lucha going on Thursday. And then we're Stack Market on the Saturday. And then all throughout November, we got the Tequila Expo. I think we're London, Kitchener, St. Catharines. Check it out at Demand Lucha on any of your social media platforms. You'll see all that information. But yeah, I think we got Jody Threat going for the Premier Championship on Thursday. We got Microman against PCO in a coffin match. We got a crazy ass freaking scramble. Like, there's gonna be lots of Halloween plunder going on there. You know, we like to, you know how we like to do. So should be a really fun show. Go to luchamarket.com if you're local. You want to check that out if you're anywhere in the Toronto area. And at Hutch Henry's, at Demand Lucha, all your socials, all the stuff. There we go, man. After this, you want to go and check me out some more? Hey, you like that punishment.
Right, there we go. As always, thank you so much. We will be back next week to chat some more wrestling. And until then, take care. But most importantly, stay tranquilo.